Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to Engineering Adda. Today in this video, we are going to see how we can implement the ActiveMQ in our Spring Boot application. We'll try to implement the ActiveMQ in our Spring Boot application, and we are going to create the producer and consumer in our Spring Boot application and then try to send the messages between producer and consumer. So this is what we are going to do here today. In the previous two videos, I already have discussed about the basic of ActiveMQ, what it is, why we are using it out, and how we can use it. And we also have discussed how we can install the ActiveMQ on Windows machine using Docker. So make sure you watch those two videos first, and then here we are going to practically implement the ActiveMQ in our Spring Boot application. So you can see that we already discussed what is ActiveMQ and why we are going to use it out and how we can use it. So everything we discussed there, and now let me try to come out of it and go to IntelliJ and create one Spring Boot application here. So just go to the file, new and project, and create one Spring Boot application. So let's say it is ActiveMQ Spring Boot IMPL, something like that. Select the my one here, go next, and try to include the starter dependency that are required. So I'm going to include the Lombok, Spring Web, and for ActiveMQ, just search for this ActiveMQ and then you will find this Spring for Apache ActiveMQ 5. Just include this one. Open it in a new tab and then just wait for a few seconds. Let it resolve all the dependency that you have added and configure your application, and then you can start doing the development of it. So just wait for a few seconds and then after that you can start doing your development. Let me try to close this one, and it is good. You can see it is resolving the dependency. So give some time to this application and then you can start doing the development after that. I think it is good. Now go to the source, main, Java, and here you can see you have your application ready. Let me try to run this application and then try to see how it is working, and then after that we'll start doing the development here. So what we are going to develop here is we are going to create a producer. And the other thing that we are going to do is we are going to create a consumer, okay? And we'll try to send the message from the producer and receive at the consumer level, okay? So that is what we are going to do here. Now before going to do those things, what I just need here is I need to start the ActiveMQ first locally on my machine. So how we can start it out? If you watch the previous video where I have discussed about the installation of the ActiveMQ, I already have told you that how you to make your ActiveMQ installed on the Docker machine, and then I already showed you how you can create a Docker container and try to make your ActiveMQ up and running in that Docker container, and then you can visit some local website of ActiveMQ and then try to see its dashboard. So all those things we covered there. So the same thing we are going to do here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the Docker desktop, and then there itself I have already created a container. I will try to spin that container. I will try to run that container, and then we'll go to the ports that we already defined there and then see the ActiveMQ dashboard. And after that, we'll try to do the development there. So just wait for a few seconds, and my Docker engine will be starting in few seconds. So just wait. Okay, so I think it will take some time. Don't worry on that. I think it is up and running, and here you can see we have this ActiveMQ container created, and I'm just going to run this out and wait for a few seconds. It will take few seconds of time. Here you can see we already have defined the port number. So this is the port where I will find my ActiveMQ dashboard, which is 8161. So if you don't know how to create this container, how to pull the Docker image of the ActiveMQ, I already have discussed in the installation video. Just go there and watch it out. So here you can see I am on the localhost 8161, and if you'll go to the admin, it will ask for the username and password, and both is admin. So just provide the username and password as admin, and now you are inside the ActiveMQ console, and here you can see the queues, topics, subscriber, connection and everything. So if you go to the queue, you'll find that there is a no queue as of now. If you go to the topic, you'll find nothing is there. But after the development, we'll come here and then try to see how we are creating the topics and all those things, and how it is being reflected here. So everything we'll see after we do the development. So let me try to go to the application, and here you can see our application is up and running on the port number 8080. So it is working fine. Let me try to stop it out. And here I'm just going to create let's say one class. Let's say it is message producer, and I'm going to create a message producer class, and in that class itself I will try to create one API, and that API will be trying to send the message. Okay, I'm not going to create the controller or a service layer. So both those things I'm not going to do here. I'm just here to show you how you can create the producer and how you can send the producer messages, and then how it will be received at the consumer level. So we are doing the basic stuff here, and that is the thing that I'm not going to create the service layer, controller layer, entity, and all those things I'm not going to do here. So simply I will create a producer, and the producer will be our API, and then I will create a consumer that will consume the message produced by the producer. So let me try to create this class. So it is, let's say, message producer. Okay, and we are good here. Let me try to annotate this with @rest controller, and I just need one Git API. So let's say it is Git mapping, and let's say it is send, something like that. And let me try to create a method called public string send message, and here we are sending the message as either you can use path variable or request parameter. So I'm just going to use the request parameter here. So just use this request parameter, and we are sending the message as request parameter. Now what we are going to do is we are going to use the JMS protocol here. So for that, what you need a JMS template. So I'm just going to auto add that JMS template, and let me try to do private and JMS template, and we are good. With the help of this JMS template reference that we created, we are going to call the method that will try to produce, or you can say send, the message that we wanted to send over a queue, or you can say over a topic. So let me try to do that. So let's say it is convert and send, and we have to provide the topic name where we want to send our message. So let's say it is, or you can say the queue name where we want to send our message. So let's say the name of the queue is test queue, and the message that we are passing as a request parameter, we are sending it to send it out. Okay, as simple as that. Now let me try to capture the thing in the, let's say, what we can do is we can simply return some sort of statement like message being sent. Okay, something like that. And now the time to create the listener here, or you can say the consumer. So let's say I'm just going to create the message consumer class, and how we can create the message consumer is simply I'm just going to there is an annotation that you can use to listen to the message which is produced by the producer over the queue that you created. So for that I'm just going to use those things. So let me try to. So what we did here is we created the message consumer class, annotated it with the @component annotation so that its bin can be created and assigned to the application context. Now let me try to create one method which will be listening to the messages produced by the producer. So let's say it is public void receive message, and let's say string message, and I'm just going to simply print that received message is this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And how we will receive the message which is produced by the producer. So there is an annotation called this is something like JMS listener. Okay, so just search for this JMS listener, and there you have to provide the queue that you created when you are going to send the message at the producer level. So if you go to the message producer, you'll find this queue. So just copy this queue name, which is test queue, and just here put it as a destination. So just okay, so we are good. So let me try to explain you the flow. What it is happening here is what we are doing is we are trying to send the message through this API. We created one queue, and over that queue we are sending this message. And then if you go to the consumer is trying to listen to that particular queue that we created, and then simply receiving the message which is sent by this queue and then printing it out. As simple as that. Okay, now our development is done. Now the thing that we need to do is we need to run this application and try to hit the API and then see how it is working. So I'm just waiting for a few seconds. Yeah, you can see our application is up. It is up on the port number 8080. Now if you'll go to this producer, and if you will try to open this up, so here I'm just getting this generated request, and here itself I can hit out this API. If you are not able to do these things, what you can do is you can open the Postman, and there itself you can try to hit out this API. Okay, so just let me try to remove this random message. Let me try to send some message like message is, or something like hello ActiveMQ. Okay, and then try to hit it, and here you can see message is being sent, and we are getting this 200. Now if you'll go to your console, you will find that received message is hello ActiveMQ. That means our producer is able to produce the message. Okay, and sorry, it is consumer. Our producer is able to produce the message, and for that, if you go to the response, you are seeing these things, right? Where it is. Let me try to hit it again and then show you. So when we are hitting the API, you can see in the response we are getting this message is being sent, which is if you go to the API, you are returning the same thing, right? So message is being sent. Now if you go to the console, you will find that we are getting this message which is received messages hello ActiveMQ. If you go to the consumer, you will find that this is the same thing that we are printing here, which is received messages, and the message that we are sending, we are printing it out. So this is the message that we are sending, and we are able to receive it out at the receiver or at the consumer. So this is how you can use ActiveMQ to produce the message and to consume the message. Okay. Now let me try to show you something else. Like if you go to the console, and if you try to refresh it out, you will find that there one test queue is already created, right? And if you go to the, like we are on the queue, test queue is there, number of consumer is 1, and the messages in queued, which like we send the messages 2 times, we hit the API 2 times, so that is why we are message in queue getting as 2 and message dequeued getting as 2. Now if you go to the topic, we have this many topics created, which is test queue. And if you go to the subscriber, you will find downside, this is the subscriber we have. Similarly, if you go to the connection, you will find all those details here. So this is how you can use ActiveMQ to produce the message from producer and consume at the consumer level. So you can use this ActiveMQ to transfer the message between producer and consumer. This is about the video, guys. If you like the video, please hit the like button and please subscribe the channel for more such content. Thanks.